And welcome to the HopCast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
And today we're drinking a couple beers from Central Water.
Yeah, Central Waters is fairly new on the craft beer scene, out of Wisconsin, and they caught our eye up at the Great Lakes Brew Fest.
Shut up!
Shut up! And that was that last year or maybe 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago.
This is 2010?
Yes, it was definitely 2 years ago because it was in the original location.
Oh, yeah.
And we were very, very impressed by their barrel-aged beers. So right now we have two different barrel-aged stouts from them. We have Peruvian Morning, which actually has coffee in it, and then they're just their barrel-aged stout.
Okay.
So we're gonna crack these guys open and kind of compare and contrast.
And then, so this is their bourbon barrel. So probably start with the coffee. A little morning tonight.
Morning tonight. Sounds good. All right, so let's have a nice Peruvian Morning.
It had a bigger head than I thought it would be for it's a double stout or imperial stout.
Yeah, you don't particularly get that much head-wise, but there's a nice amount of lacing going on and some nice fluff to it.
And pretty dark, but it has like little red cherry hues coming through.
Yeah, this isn't one of your motor oil stouts.
No.
By appearance at all. Seems maybe a little bit more approachable, palatable.
Yeah.
So we've got aroma. I almost skipped ahead to drinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, coffee, chocolate.
Yeah. A lot of nice rounded bourbon characters. There's not a lot of heat coming off of it. You get more like kind of the chocolate and the vanilla notes.
I got some sediment floating around in mine too.
It's fairly clear. You had towards the bottom of the bottle. Well, without further ado.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's
so
awesome.
a nice roast from the coffee. This has been sitting for a little while, so it was probably a little bit more pronounced when it was first bottled, but you still get a little of that coffee roast.
Right, yeah. Because you usually start falling out the coffee, what, like 3 months, 2 months?
Yeah. I mean, right away, really, to a small degree, but it's going to be sliding off that scale. So generally, coffee stouts, I don't like to age them just for that reason. But sometimes stuff gets lost in the cellars.
But it still has the chocolate's more in the aroma, from the coffee. I'm getting a little on the end, but not as much.
Yeah, when you smell it, it's like straight up like a powdered cocoa aroma.
I was expecting a little more carbonate because it looked like it's pretty carbonate from our head and the bubbles we were getting, but
yeah, on the mouthfeel, it's light.
Yeah, it's like it does make you think of South America and just kind of sitting there, coffee roaster. There's a nice feeling about it.
I mean, it's a really well done beer. I don't know how long they age this beer in a barrel, but sometimes you got people that will age stuff for just a couple months and then they push it out. This seems like they've actually utilized a lot of the characters out of their barrels.
But it doesn't have burn from the bourbon.
No, it's very smooth.
Maybe a little bit of wood, but no like bourbon burn, I guess.
The bourbon character is there, but it's not abrasive. See, I can smell it, and you get a little bit on the in the mouth as well, but it's not super pronounced. And to me, I'd rather have that,
No, the smell bourbon versus the, oh my god, I'm choking on bourbon.
I mean, and I can taste it, but like, yeah, you don't really want it shoved down your throat, and I think that's what they've achieved is, by letting it mature for a little bit longer, you're going to get more of that interaction with the wood, and it's going to start to mellow out as opposed to just being super hot. And I think that's great. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have liked to try it fresh because I love that coffee. So I'm sure I think it comes out every year. So I bet there's a fresh bottle out now, maybe.
Yeah, these are both 2011. So they've been downstairs in the cellar for a little while. Tasting it previous to this, the coffee was certainly more pronounced. It's died off a little bit, and it's starting to like kind of turn where, the coffee's starting to be, all right, don't let this sit any longer.
All right, so if you have a bottle.
Right, yeah, if you have the 11 or anything before that, I would certainly go ahead and drink it, and I should probably take that advice myself, because I think there's a couple of bottles left over there.
It's like they're coming out tonight.
yeah, they probably will. But yeah, great beer. I look forward to seeing what just a straight up bourbon barreled stout is like in contrast.
Yeah, cheers. Let's finish this off.
Cheers.
Well, we got a little pick-me-up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feeling nice and caffeinated and somewhat inebriated.
It's the best of both worlds.
It's kind of like, I've noticed that with my life. It's a vicious cycle of going through different brewed beverages. It's just like coffee and coffee and coffee until it's 5 o'clock and it's beer time.
Right.
And then coffee.
And then you get really tired, but then you get coffee and then you keep drinking.
Yes.
But now we do the coffee. Now we're going straight back to the beer.
We're going bourbon and beer right now, straight up. So the Central Waters 2011 bourbon barrel aged stout, and really looking forward to it. Part of their Brewers Reserve series.
Yeah. So,
let's open it up.
Well, I think we got a little darker with that.
Think so?
I think a tad. It seemed like I was getting, maybe the sun's going down, so I'm losing some of the highlights, but I thought it was a little lighter before.
It's looking about the same to me. I'm not picking up any perceived differences, but I'm also wearing my sweet shades, so.
Polarized?
They're polarized. The aroma on this beer is just fantastic. You get a lot of like bourbon character.
Yeah.
It's what's weird about this beer is that you get a lot of bourbon, a lot of vanilla, a little bit of chocolate, but like everything's kind of subdued, and it's not just coming at you. You have to go seek for it.
Yeah, you have to.
But it's very pleasant, you know?
It does smell sweeter than the Peruvian Morning, which smelled a little more roastier and bourbony.
Yeah, you've got, with the Peruvian Morning, I mean, this one's obviously doesn't have any coffee in it. And the fact that we let that Peruvian Morning sit for probably longer than it should have.
Not me. I don't know.
Well, I say we, because I'm throwing you under the bus with me. Don't tell Pete. Sometimes the coffee gets a little bit strange after a while. So there's none of that weird coffee sense to it. The fact that it's not fresh, none of that is interfering anymore.
Well, let's give it a taste.
Yeah. Kind of forgot that we hadn't.
Whoa. That finish on there.
Just a ton of vanilla in this beer.
It's like you drink it, the first sip, you're like, okay, and then it like all of a sudden like hits you in that sweet vanilla finish. It's like, whoa, it's a weird like, I don't know, like half second, and you're like,
right.
All right, oh.
Yeah, I mean the amount of vanilla character that they're getting out of this, especially since this is not a beer that uses vanilla.
Right.
They're getting that straight up from the bourbon and the oak, and the barrel aging process is pretty astounding. I mean that's a ton of vanilla character.
Wow. And then what's the alcohol in this? It should be about the same, right? What did we say? Like,
should be the same, if not slightly more. Sometimes when you're adding,
it doesn't say.
When you're adding like, well, assuming that they added cold pressed coffee, like not just grounds, you know, you're gonna dilute your liquid,
right?
Which is gonna bring your alcohol down a little bit, but
yeah, it doesn't say on either one of these bottles, but probably around 10, right?
My guess would be 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the heat on it is just, there's not really much heat at all. You get, I think that's what I was trying to say before, where you get the bourbon without the heat.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm trying to think, you would know better comparing this to like Bourbon County Stout. Is this a little lighter in body feel?
In the
right?
in the mouthfeel and
Yeah,
the body,
okay.
yeah, it's definitely a little bit lighter than, well, quite a bit lighter than Bourbon County. Bourbon County is a pretty hefty, sugary liquid. But the thing that makes Bourbon County great is the fact that they do that extra maturation, and I think Central Waters is doing the same thing, because you're pulling out more barrel than a lot of other barrel aged beers. They kind of just like put it in a barrel, let it sit for a couple months, and they're like, yeah, this is barrel aged.
Yeah.
You know, Central Waters, I think, is going through the process of actually letting it mature, and that's, you know, and it takes time, and that's why these beers often you can't find them. Central Waters has been pretty readily available in the Chicago market recently.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize how good it is.
Right.
I know.
Yet.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they will find out.
We just fucked that up.
And then yeah,
Damn it.
they will find out, and then this beer will be coveted just as the other ones, and they're going to be hurting to make it available.
Right. Well, it's a lot of work. You gotta brew it and then put it in the barrels and let it sit for however long you're letting it sit, and that takes up space and time and
Money.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
Time is money. That someone told me that once. But yeah, you literally can't speed up the maturation process. So that's why these beers are limited, and that's why they're expensive. There's a lot of stuff that goes involved with making these types of beers, and Central Waters is doing a great job.
Yeah, and this is great because it's a little lighter, and I think you could have 2 of these versus 1 Bourbon County. You're probably right.
Yeah, and I don't know that anyone
gonna
that sits down and just slams down a Bourbon County by themselves.
Well, maybe this you might be able to. It's still a big beer, but
yeah,
it feels lighter in the.
I don't know. Let's go drink some Bourbon County.
Oh shit.
We'll find out.
Well, you'll find us passed out in the alley.
We'll probably lay right here, fall over this log. But yeah, so strong showing from Central Waters. If you haven't heard of them before, you probably haven't, unless you're super in tune to the craft stuff and
Midwest craft too.
Yeah, right. So very small distribution right now. But they're doing some really, really nice stuff with some barrel aging. They also have the barrel aged barley wine that's fantastic as well.
And they have the regular stout also.
Solstice.
Mm-hmm.
And doing some IPAs, double IPAs now, and they also have what they call their brew house coffee porter or coffee stout or something like that, which is, lower alcohol. Obviously, that's what they drink when they're brewing, and it's also enjoyable as well. So.
And they have a brew house you can go to, like a restaurant, or is it like a tasting? Okay,
Never been. I have never been.
They should invite us out.
I think that you should invite us out, Central Waters. We're a pretty good time.
As 6 Point says, we're dudes.
We are dudes, according to 6 Point, and that's a direct quote from the Twitters. But yeah, really nice job from Central Waters. Seek them out, trade for them, whatever you got to do, and cheers.